After nearly 3 months in nomination limbo, President Trump's pick to lead the Fed, Kevin Warsh, is finally getting his confirmation hearing.
But Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says Republican Senator TT, that's Tom Tillis, could still be a big roadblock to the nomination as the Department of Justice investigation into Jay Powell is still ongoing. Senate Banking Chair Tim Scott striking a more bullish tone.
Next week, we'll have a hearing with Kevin Warsh being present. We'll talk through the economy, we'll talk through price stability and inflation. We'll talk about the independence of the Fed. And then the second step, later on, we'll have a vote on Kevin Warsh. I believe that the DOJ will finish and wrap this up in the next several weeks, and Tom Tillis will be a yes on Kevin Warsh.
Joining us now, the Heritage Foundation Chief Economist, EJ Antoni. EJ, always good to see you. I imagine you'd like to see Kevin Warsh in that seat as soon as possible. Do you think that the Trump administration should drop the investigation of Powell so that Tom Tillis can vote for this nomination and we can get on with things, or not?
Yeah, Brian, I think that makes the most sense at this point. I mean, let's just do a quick cost-benefit analysis. Really, what do we lose, whether it's the administration or the American people broadly? What do we lose in terms of dropping this investigation into Powell? We already know the guy's record. We already know he's been a horrible Fed chair. We know that there are huge cost overruns in the palace on the Potomac that they're building, for crying out loud, as the new Fed headquarters. So all of that is already out in public. I don't think we're going to gain any new information by continuing this investigation. Conversely, if you do drop it, what do you gain? Well, you gain Warsh's passage through the Senate so that he can now be the man in charge at the Fed, and he can help get us back on track in terms of some sound monetary policy. Wouldn't that be a nice change after the last 5 or 6 years?
Will it be any different, though, in the grand scheme of things? Will it be any different? Because the Federal Reserve in modern history has stood at the ready to bail out the recklessness of the banking system, EJ. And to fuel inflation. And quite frankly, we're so deep in debt, they're going to have to buy our debt.
Okay, Dagan, great question. And look, I agree. We are in a certain kind of fiscal dominance regime, as some people like to call it, where it's basically forcing the Fed's hand. This is why the Fed has had to shift back to doing quantitative easing. They not only stopped quantitative tightening, but now they're back to buying bonds, because they've built this really bizarre framework where they require essentially bank reserves to stay at a certain level in order to keep the financial plumbing flowing properly. And if those reserves drop too low, then they're going to run into problems. So regardless of what they're trying to do on inflation, they've actually had to resort to growing the balance sheet because of this. Warsh understands, I think, that they need to completely reverse all of that. This entire novel monetary framework that Powell and company have built at the Fed, Warsh understands you need to undo that, and you need to go back to the old-fashioned way of doing business before we were paying interest on reserves, for example, or using the repo market to try to conduct long-term monetary policy.
All right, well, let's talk about the communist way of doing business. Zoran Mamdani thinks he's cracked the code to high prices at the grocery store. EJ, listen to this.
The city will subsidize a core set of staples. A private operator will run the store, but they answer to the standards that the city will set. These standards include requirements that at our stores, bread will be cheaper, eggs will be cheaper, grocery shopping will no longer be an unsolvable equation, and workers will be treated with dignity. This is what we mean by a new era. When New Yorkers are being priced out of their groceries, government will step in and deliver affordability.
What do you think, EJ? Is it a new era, or meet the new boss, same as the old boss?
I tell you what, Brian, economists are not very good at many things, but one thing we are really good at, creating shortages. And the best way to do that, I can tell you, is you just set a market price that is, you set a price that is below the market price. In other words, you remove the incentive for producers to actually bring products or services to market, at least less than what consumers are demanding at those prices. Voila, there's your shortage. Look, you can't force a baker to make you bread at a price where he's going to lose money. You can't force the dairy farmer to put a gallon of of milk on the shelf, again, at a price that's going to lose him money. At the end of the day, this is just another recipe for creating shortages. You hit the nail on the head when you called it communism, Brian. It's exactly what we saw throughout the USSR, and it's what's going to repeat itself now in New York City.
Well, they'll just do like a Volodymyr, the Ukraine famine, and hide it. I hate to compare the two, but as Stalin did, you just hide how awful it is until it gets exposed. I want to move on to this. Tariff refund system almost ready, Customs says. So first 5 months of our fiscal year, we, the United States, have run a deficit of $1 trillion. We can't afford to give refunds. EJ, we have to, but we can't afford to. We need to keep the money.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Dagan, we just haven't seen the kind of spending restraint that we were promised, frankly, right? How many of these so-called fiscal conservatives that are in office right now in Congress were promising they were going to cut the deficit? Remember DOGE? Remember all the savings that we were supposed to get out of that? And then once Elon and his crew identified all of this abuse, corruption, fraud, and waste, what did the people in Congress do? They refused to codify the vast majority of those cuts into law. In other words, they're allowing all those scams to continue, unfortunately. So we haven't had the budget cuts that we were promised. So we're continuing to run, frankly, these blowout deficits. And that relates back to something we were talking about earlier with how fiscal policy is putting handcuffs on monetary policy.
Good point. Always nice to talk to an economist to straighten things out. EJ Antoni, see you later. Thank you.